The global entertainment scene just erupted. Bruno Mars is trending worldwide again, dominating headlines, breaking algorithms, and sparking massive curiosity across every major platform. But there's one question that refuses to go away. Where does Jessica Caban stand in all of this? Before we go any further, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear isn't just another celebrity update. This is a story layered with emotion, mystery, and a global reaction no one saw coming. It all started with a performance. Unexpected, unannounced, and completely explosive. No heavy promotion, no long countdown, just Bruno Mars stepping onto the stage and instantly commanding the world's attention. Within hours, clips flooded the internet. Searches like Bruno Mars' latest performance, Bruno Mars Live 2026, and Bruno Mars trending now skyrocketed to the top. But this wasn't just another show. Something felt different. His movements were sharper. His vocals carried a deeper intensity. And his expressions, subtle but powerful, felt like they were telling a story beyond the music itself. Fans immediately noticed. Social media lit up with theories. Was this simply artistic evolution, or was something more personal unfolding behind the scenes? And then, almost inevitably, the conversation turned toward Jessica Caban. For years, their relationship has stood as one of the most stable and private in the entertainment industry. Over a decade together, rarely surrounded by drama, always low-key, always grounded. But this time, something stood out. Jessica was nowhere to be seen. No visible support post. No shared moment tied to this major performance. No public reaction that fans have come to expect during milestones like this. And in the age of constant visibility, absence becomes a signal of its own. Is it coincidence or something deeper? Online communities began digging, not in a reckless way but with curiosity. Small details surfaced, a quieter social media presence, fewer joint appearances, a shift, not dramatic, but noticeable enough to spark conversation. But hold on, this is where things get interesting, because Bruno Mars has always been intentional about privacy. He doesn't overshare. He doesn't turn his personal life into headlines. And that makes moments like this even more intriguing, because when he does reveal emotion, it feels deliberate. And this performance felt personal. The lyrics hit harder. The pauses felt heavier. Even the way he looked into the crowd, it was as if he was speaking to someone specific or processing something real. Now pause for a second and think about this. A global superstar, already at the peak of success, doesn't need to prove anything. Yet suddenly, he delivers one of his most emotionally charged performances in recent memory, without explanation. That's not random. That's a signal. At this point in the story, the narrative shifts. Because this isn't just about a trending performance anymore. It's about what it might represent. And still, Jessica Caban remains a question mark. Some close sources suggest everything is still strong between them. No confirmed issues. No official statements. In fact, a few insiders quietly mention that they continue to support each other, just more privately than ever. But here's the thing about silence. In today's digital world, silence can feel louder than words, and that's exactly what's fueling the intrigue. As the performance continues to rack up millions of views, media coverage explodes. Headlines multiply, keywords trend globally. Bruno Mars' emotional performance, Bruno Mars' relationship status, Jessica Caban update. The curiosity doesn't slow down. And then, the realization hits. Maybe this was never meant to be explained. Maybe the power of the moment lies in its ambiguity. Because at the peak of it all, this is what Bruno Mars does best. He creates moments that make the world stop. He doesn't rely on controversy. He doesn't chase attention. He lets the music speak. And somehow, it says everything without saying too much. That's the payoff. Not a confirmed answer. Not a dramatic reveal. But something more powerful. An experience that leaves people thinking, questioning, and coming back for more. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly how he wants it. So now it's your turn. What do you think is really going on behind this viral moment? Is this pure artistry, or is there a deeper story unfolding beneath the surface? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more global entertainment stories that keep you watching until the very last second. And just when it seemed like the conversation couldn't get any bigger, it did. Because a new angle began to emerge, one that no one initially paid attention to. Fans started revisiting past performances of Bruno Mars, comparing energy, tone, even the smallest gestures. And the more they compared, the clearer the contrast became. This wasn't just a stylistic shift. This felt intentional, almost like a chapter change. The way he held certain notes longer than usual, the way the band subtly adjusted tempo to match his emotional pacing. Even the lighting design, darker and more intimate than his typical high-gloss productions. It all pointed towards something carefully crafted, yet deeply personal. And suddenly, a theory began circulating. What if this isn't just a performance? What if this is a message? Not a loud one, not a direct one, but something layered, something only noticeable if you're really paying attention. And that's when things took another unexpected turn. Clips from the performance started going viral not just for the music, but for specific moments. A glance into the crowd, a slight pause before a chorus, a near smile that quickly faded. These micro-expressions became the center of analysis. Frame by frame, fans dissected everything. And right in the middle of all that speculation, the name Jessica Caban surfaced again. But this time, not as a question, as a possibility. Some fans began connecting emotional cues from the performance to moments previously associated with Jessica. Old interviews resurfaced. Lyrics from past songs were re-examined. Even paparazzi photos from months ago were pulled back into the spotlight. It was like watching a puzzle slowly assemble itself in real time. But here's where it gets complicated. Because for every theory that suggested distance, another suggested the exact opposite. Some believed this performance was actually a tribute, a reflection of a long-term relationship evolving, not breaking. That the emotional weight wasn't about loss, but about depth, growth, time. And if that's true, then everything changes. Because instead of a story about separation, this becomes a story about transformation. And suddenly, the performance feels even more powerful. Now think about the timing. The music industry in 2026 is louder than ever. Trends come and go in days. Virality is often manufactured. But this felt organic, unforced, real. And in the middle of that chaos, Bruno Mars didn't just follow the noise, he slowed it down. He created a moment where people had to stop scrolling and actually feel something. That's rare. And maybe that's why it hit so hard. Because whether intentional or not, it tapped into something universal: uncertainty, connection, emotion without clear answers. And that's where the tension builds again. Because just as fans thought they were getting closer to understanding the story, new footage appeared. A behind-the-scenes clip, short, unpolished, almost accidental. In it, Bruno Mars is seen offstage, quiet, focused. No flashy persona, no performance energy, just him. And for a split second, he looks up, straight into the camera, and there's something in that look. Not sadness, not exactly happiness either, but awareness, like he knows the world is watching, and still chooses not to explain. That single clip reignited everything. Searches spiked again. Discussions got louder. And once again, Jessica Caban's name trended alongside his. But here's the twist no one expected. Despite all the speculation, no credible source has confirmed any conflict. No statements, no leaks, no undeniable evidence pointing in any dramatic direction. Just interpretations. And that's what makes this story so compelling. Because in a world where everything is usually overexposed, this remains just out of reach. And maybe that's the real genius behind it. Whether by design or by nature, Bruno Mars has created a narrative that lives in the space between certainty and mystery. He's not feeding the story, but he's not shutting it down either. He's letting it breathe. And the result? A global audience completely locked in. Watching, rewatching, analyzing, debating. Not because they were told to care, but because they genuinely do. And as the views continue to climb, one thing becomes undeniable. This isn't just a viral moment anymore. It's a cultural one. A moment where music, emotion, and curiosity collide in a way that feels bigger than a single performance. And at the center of it all, two names that continue to be linked, whether publicly or silently: Bruno Mars and Jessica Caban. So where does this go next? That's the question no one can answer. Will there be a statement, another performance, a subtle confirmation hidden in plain sight? Or will this remain exactly what it is now? A powerful, unresolved moment that keeps the world watching. Because sometimes the story that isn't fully told is the one people remember the longest. And right now, this story is far from over. So stay close, stay curious, and most importantly, don't look away. Because the next clue might appear when you least expect it. And just when the noise began to settle, something subtle but powerful shifted again. The conversation didn't disappear. It evolved. Because now, people weren't just reacting. They were anticipating. Every move from Bruno Mars started to feel like a potential clue. A simple post, a silent appearance. Even the absence of activity became part of the narrative. And in a digital landscape where attention spans are short, this level of sustained curiosity is almost unheard of. But here's where the tension tightens. A new wave of insiders, unverified but persistent, began hinting that something bigger might be coming. Not just another performance, not just another viral clip, something more structured, more intentional, possibly even a full project. And suddenly, the context changes again. Because if this emotional performance was just a glimpse, what does the full picture look like? Fans immediately began speculating about a new album, Concept Era, a body of work that reflects not just musical evolution, but personal storytelling on a level Bruno Mars has never fully explored in public before. And right in the middle of those theories, one detail quietly resurfaced: timing. Because if you trace the pattern, major appearances, subtle disappearances, and now this emotionally charged resurgence, it doesn't feel random. It feels paced, almost like chapters in a story that hasn't been officially announced yet. And that's when the name Jessica Caban re-enters the narrative, this time with a different kind of weight. Not as a missing piece, but as a possible anchor. Some fans began to shift their perspective entirely. What if Jessica's silence isn't distance, but support? What if staying out of the spotlight is part of protecting something real in a world that constantly tries to expose everything? It's a quieter theory, but a powerful one, because it reframes everything. Instead of asking, "Where is she?" the question becomes, what are they choosing not to show? And that question hits differently, because for over a decade, their relationship has survived in an industry where most don't. No constant headlines, no public breakdowns, just consistency, something rare and often underestimated. So maybe this moment isn't about absence at all. Maybe it's about boundaries. And if that's the case, then the performance takes on a whole new meaning. Not as a signal of something falling apart, but as an expression of something being protected. Now pause again, because right here the energy shifts. Just as the speculation begins to lean toward a more grounded interpretation, another clip surfaces. This time, it's from a private event. Low lighting, minimal crowd, no massive stage production, just Bruno Mars and a microphone. The footage is brief, but enough to send the internet into another spiral. His tone? Soft, controlled, almost reflective. No dramatic gestures, no explosive vocals, just presence. And in that presence, something stands out. He smiles. Not the performance smile, not the polished, public-facing version, but a small, genuine moment that feels completely unfiltered. And instantly, the narrative fractures again. Because now, people don't know what to believe. Is this contrast intentional? Is he showing different sides on purpose? Or are we simply seeing fragments of a much larger reality that can't be understood through isolated moments? This is where the story becomes more than speculation. It becomes interpretation, because at this level, every viewer brings their own perspective, their own assumptions, their own emotional lens. And Bruno Mars never corrects it. He lets the audience decide what it means. That's power. Not just as an artist, but as a story.